Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome to the Thoughts of an Abstract Mind podcast, where we discuss various red and blue pill content, see how the people feel about it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification buzzer so you can keep up with everything we drop. Also, don't forget to follow us on all social media streams at Suave UK, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you're at, we're there. Okay, before I start, I'd like to send a big shout out to Dr. Jerry Clothing for this nice African print that he did for me. He designs a lot of, I know a lot of you guys see me in my African print and some musical videos and whatnot. But he's my main designer. He does the best African prints, for orders and inquiries. You can contact him on social media at Dr. J Clothing. At Dr. J Clothing. He's on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. So contact him, get your drip right. And today we just want to talk about the African identity. Recently I got into a conversation with a few people in regards to what African identity is and where it's going. We live in a time where, I would say especially Africans, where we've been colonized, as everyone knows the history. We lost a lot of our identity, we lost a lot of our languages, we lost a lot of our brotherhoods and sisterhoods with the introduction of borders, etc., etc., etc. Now, a new invasion per se that a lot of Africans deem is like identity invasion. Because those African countries now, depending on who they were colonized by, tend to, I wouldn't say admire, but they're more geared towards the colonizers. I'm half Ghanaian, half Nigerian, if you don't know. And both countries tend to watch a lot of English TV. They're into a lot of English culture, Western culture in general, which is fine. We live in a global, neighborhood now, but it seems it's coming at the cost of the African identity. You know what I mean? Like today I woke up, I just strip up, wear my traditional, feel a bit traditional, which is fine, but the minute I step up, people will be watching you. I'm currently in London, by the way. People will be watching you. What's he doing? Like, what's that about? Which it shouldn't be so. If we can accept other people's cultures, I believe our cultures should be accepted too. And this goes both ways, this goes a lot of ways, because I remember growing up and being basically in school. We were kind of discouraged from even speaking our traditional languages, which is a bit sad, because I think another reason why China is such, I use China as an example because they started pretty much where most developing countries started. And I think another reason why China is pretty successful now is they retain most of their traditions. So the national language in China is still Mandarin, which the average person can speak and understand. Does that mean they don't constitute international languages into their businesses, etc., etc.? Yeah, but the general language, and language is such a powerful thing, in any country's history, language is a very powerful thing. Language itself tells you the history of a people. And then imagine growing up and you're being told, oh, speak English, don't speak your language, that's vernacular. So the African identity itself is constantly under attack. And I feel like as we've traveled and we've seen other cultures and we've seen how people have propelled themselves, we need to start applying that. Because before we know what being African is, the soul of Africanism is going to be gone. And we're going to have no traditions, no cultures to pass on to our children, which I feel is a bit sad. Because we have the richest culture in all of the world, I believe, being the originators, So I just feel like we really need to sit down and pay attention to what's going on. And it doesn't take much. We should express ourselves more. We should be more into African fashion than we should be into anyone else's fashion. We should be more into African language than we should be into anyone else's language. We should be more into African culture than we should be in anyone's culture, you know? So I think we really all need to sit down and think about where Africanism is going. I know there's been a lot of improvements recently. There's more communication thanks to technology. Again, we need to figure out what African technology is moving forward as well, you know, because that's another thing. A lot of people tend to admire the Western culture because of the technological advances, but believe it or not, there was a time where Africa had all the technological advances. So where we could literally sit down and create our own technology, which some brilliant Africans are doing at the moment. But there's no shine. You know, there's no shine. I mean, people are creating their own vehicle brands, people are creating their own planes, and etc. etc. But again, it goes to do with this, you know, lack of African understanding per se. I mean, you make African clothes, people rather buy the Western clothes, you know. So we need to change our mentality and all of that. We can't love anything else more than we love ourselves. That's what being anything is about, you know. The Westerners are so successful because they love what they are. There's no, you know, they're not successful. Okay, you know, there's a history of, you know, pillaging the world, etc., etc., attached to it, you know. But what creates perpetual success is being proud of who you are and expressing that in everything you do, whether business, whether international forums. So, if you're looking to get paid to do social media, I mean, everyone loves social media at the moment. If you're looking to get paid to do the things you normally do on social media, if you click the link below, and it's going to be somewhere down there. If you click the link below, you can actually apply to become a social media worker where you get paid an hourly rate to do the normal things you do on social media. Who doesn't love a bit of that? I mean, we're all on social media anyways. Why not get paid for it? As the new generation, we need to start creating a new outlet for Africanism. We need to be so proud of our Africanness. And I recently dropped a song called African in London. The whole song, through and through, see me in African wear. I know it's going to spin around globally. I just wanted to express my Africanism, which is the most important thing for me. So we all need to just come together and start growing the African brand across the globe. Change the perspective on Africa and how people view us, which would then change our constant urge to fit in with people. We don't have to fit in with people because we originated most of this shit. You know, most civilizations come from Africa. We all know this. You know, we originated most of this shit. So how all of a sudden we've got to a point where we feel like we have to fit in beats me. You know, so be proud of your African identity, be proud of your African culture and express it and make sure people understand it everywhere you go, you know. But I do want to see how you guys feel about it. You know, if you have anything to add to it, just leave it in the comments below and we'll be discussing it. Yeah. Shouts to everyone showing love. I recently just dropped another song. There's a lot of songs on this channel. Don't forget, I'm a music artist after all. So check out some of my musical stuff on the channel. I just dropped a song recently called Rocks, which is currently doing really good. Lots of good feedback. Shout out all the DJs showing love. Shout out all the radio stations showing love. So don't forget to subscribe. And also don't forget to check out the links below on the channel. We always have some interesting stuff on the links. You know, if you want to support the channel, you can go over to Patreon where we're going to start releasing some exclusive videos that will not be on this channel, you know, so you can keep up with us. Love to everyone. Stay safe out there.